thousands of Albanians are cheering him on his bid to return as head of Albania's largest opposition party. "77-year-old Sali Berisha is on a mission to retake the leadership of the Democratic Party. But without official blessing, it's a campaign which is dividing the very party he established. Former President and Prime Minister Berisha led the country as it transitioned from communism to democracy in the early 90s. He retired from active politics in 2013, leaving the leadership of the party to Lulzim Basha, while he maintained a low profile as an MP. Then, almost a decade on, everything changed when in May this year, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken declared Berisha persona non grata, barring him and his family from ever entering the United States.
In his official capacity as Prime Minister of Albania in particular, Berisha was involved in corrupt acts, such as misappropriation of public funds and interfering with public processes, including using his power for his own benefit and to enrich his political allies and his family members at the expense of the Albanian public's confidence in their government institutions and public officials.
Shortly after that, Democratic leader Lulzim Basha expelled Berisha from the party's caucus in the National Assembly, causing turmoil and uncertainty for the party's future. Berisha denies any wrongdoing and now is trying to overthrow Basha, whom he calls a hostage.
Shpallet non grata Sali Berisha, sepse kundërshtoi me forcën më të madhe ndryshimin e kufive të Kosovës. Kur mendova pse më shpallen non grata, ja shtrova pyetjes vete, ç'kisha bërë? Unë de facto isha një njeri që isha tërheq nga çdo lloj funksioni. S'kisha asnjë funksion, deputet.
Berisha told this to his supporters in the city of Fushkrui, 30 kilometers from the capital Tirana. Those backing him are calling for a party convention in early December, a request rejected by Basha. Berisha's supporters are convinced that he does not represent a threat to Albania's relations with the United States, and they often implicate liberal billionaire philanthropist as being behind the US stance.
Ndjeni me faktin që megjithatë ka një largim, një distancim nga SBA ndaj Berishës.
Sigurisht që nuk ka distancim, është afrim.
Po megjithatë është shpallë persona non grata. Sa ndikon kjo në simpatin tuaj?
Zero. Sali Berisha non grata është shpallë padrejtisht.
Do thotë kjo nuk ndikon.
Non grata nuk ke probleme juridike, ke politike.
Në mënyrë absolute për doktor Berisha është vetëm thjesht politike e George Soros vetë.
Do thotë ju mendoni që për kraja për Amerikën dhe amerikanizmin shqiptar nuk ka ndryshuar fare.
Absolutisht jo.
Për ne jo.
Edhe për doktorin edhe për Shqipërinë jo.
Edhe për ne shqiptarët dhe për doktorin.
Dëshin ta marrin gjithmonë duke fol, duke na dhënë shpresë. Kur ka Bushi këtu unë kam po të dorën, sepse na shpalli qytet, domthonë Kosovën shtet dhe neve na futin në NATO. Detyrimisht që për Amerikën duhet kemi respekt tepër të madh. Ajo është shtet i madh, pavarësisht se këta njerëz që ka futur Sorosi dhe flasin në emër të Sorosit, jo në emër të Shtetit Bashkuar të Amerikës.
One of Berisha's colleagues, Edith Harji, with whom I sat for an interview on the outskirts of Tirana, expects that at the end of the day the US will accept the will of the majority of Albanians, and she expects that Berisha will carry on his legal battle against Secretary Blinken, whom he's suing for defamation in a Paris court.
Knowing the cultural identity of Albanians, I think everybody would know better that at the end of the day, an Albanian remains an Albanian and would like to take sovereign decisions about the way they would like to lead a democracy.
She insists that Berisha is the only one who can save the party.
The party is in crisis, is in shambles, I would say, not even in crisis. But I feel that this movement is a movement that will refound the party, will reformat the DP. It is true that to me this is his last mission to the Democratic Party.
For others, including political science professor Afrim Krasniqi, Berisha's campaign is quite simply revenge.
Për sa kohë ai ka vendosur të ndjek një luftë personale Ai llogarit edhe zhvillimit gjeopolitike, për shembull vendet evropiane kanë qenë shumë më pozitive në raport me të sa pale amerikane, por në pikpamjen e tij gjithmonë zoti Berisha ka qenë i tezës që nëse përkrahin qytetarët dhe fiton legjitimitet, bësh partner edhe me Shtetet Bashkuara të Amerikës. Nuk besoj që ky është rasti dhe nuk besoj që të funksionojë.
Atos Lubonia argues that the support that's being shown to Berisha is actually a sign of Albania's political maturity.
People generally are not that stupid as Albanian politicians think, that if you use America, the support of America, you can gain power and you will come in power like the other part in the Democratic Party is claiming. The support towards Berisha should be understood in this way, because we are in front of a situation where the opposition will serve only as a facade for democracy to the Western countries and not as a real representative of people.
The struggle of Albanian Democrats with the US administration is not the only concern for Albanians here in terms of international politics. We have been told here in Tirana from civil society groups who deal with the European integration that there is an increase in skepticism towards the European Union. This is due mainly to the delays caused in the process for opening accession talks with the Union. Gledis Gjipali from the European Movement of Albania says, however, that the EU remains the only choice for Albania.
Of course, the skepticism has increased. It's mostly in the elites because they understand better what's happening also in EU and how little attention or space there is for countries like Albania or the Western Balkans in general. But the population strongly believes in this project.
As the EU delays the start of accession talks with Albania, Prime Minister Edi Rama has committed to a new regional initiative which includes Serbia and North Macedonia, called Open Balkan. Many see it as a game being played with the EU, but Rama insists that it will bring benefits. The initiative is yet to be formally determined. But in Tirana, many already see it as a failed project.
Pyetja është, cili është përfitimi i Shqipërisë në këtë histori? A arrin dot Shqipëria përfitojë nga Open Balkan, dhe nëse përfiton këto interesat e Shqipërisë, a përputhen me interesat që ka dhe detyrimi kushtetues në raport me Kosovën dhe hapësirën shqiptare? Në rastin e parë ne nuk kemi asnjë përfitim ekonomik. Tregu shqiptar nuk varet nga tregu në Serbi dhe shkëmbimet midis dy vende janë minimale në raport me shkëmbimet që kemi me Turqinë ose me pjesë të tjera të rajonit dhe botës.
But if you take in consideration what does it mean for our economy, I am very suspicious that even an integration to Europe, an open Europe, it's not that good for Albanians in the sense of economy, because we could have the fate of Greece, let's say. So we are not prepared to be integrated. We'll lose a lot of possibilities. So we need a real strong debate and not this brainwashing with Europe. In my view, opening Europe, we need a critical look in all this.
To me, Open Balkans, it's nothing else but an inclusion of Albania in the former Yugosphere, which would be the biggest mistake ever that Albania and the Albanians in the region can ever do for their future, present and future. It will show, of course, it will bring a Serbian dominance, especially at a time when Kosovo and Serbia are negotiating.
The most pro-Euro-Atlantic country on earth is one of the poorest countries on the European continent. The struggle to improve the economy and prospects for a better life is often hindered by harsh internal political battles, and now it seems that both the EU and the US are unintentionally contributing to that struggle. Kombin Ahmedjekaj for TRT World, Tirana, Albania.